You're listening to Tony Graham in Studio 2 on Binjang 91.5, and now it's time for Tech Talk with Matthew Dickerson. G'day, Matthew.
Yeah, g'day, Tony. Great to be chatting to you again.
Yes. Well, we need to come up with a different line next week, if you don't mind.
Sure.
We've got to keep this thing moving along. So anyway, what a great way to start Tech Talk, I reckon. Anyway, Matthew, it seems that we've forgotten to look where we are walking. Well, I haven't. My wife certainly has. What new feature from Android will help us walk down the street, not trip over things, for example?
Well, Android have got their digital wellbeing service, and it's got a new heads-up feature, and it'll prompt users to stop staring at their phones while walking. I know it seems incredible, Tony, that we've got to be reminded not to stare at our phones, but it's basically already being rolled out to beta users of the digital wellbeing app, and some people with Pixel phones, for example, are already getting this particular feature. So if you're walking along using your phone, and you do see it a lot, people out on the streets just walking along with their head down on their phone, you'll receive a reminder to focus on what's around you. They'll have brief notifications like watch your step, stay alert, look up. It doesn't replace paying attention, though, is what Google advises, which seems pretty obvious to me. But this is where we're at, Tony, with modern society. We've got to be reminded. The digital wellbeing app is used for a whole range of different things. You can set the amount of time you spend in specific apps, or you can have bedtime mode so that it's less distracting when you go to bed at night. And so you'll see this rolled out on Pixel phones and then eventually with other Android phones. But it reminded me of a little clip, and you can go and search for this clip, a very funny 1-minute clip from a comedian named Rick Mercer. And this is about 12 years ago when BlackBerry was all the go. And he put a parody ad together for a new BlackBerry helmet. And the idea was you'd put the BlackBerry helmet on and you'd put your head down and stare at your phone, and you just run into things in your BlackBerry helmet so you didn't have to worry about what you're running into, so you could always keep your eyes on your BlackBerry phone. And again, it was a takeoff or a parody ad, but it's almost at the point now where we almost need that helmet to walk around in because people are staring at their phone so much.
Yeah, well, I was really hoping you'd have something that stops people from tripping over things when they're actually not looking at their phone. That's what I was getting at.
I haven't got that problem solved yet, sorry, Tony.
No, okay. Oh, well, you can't win them all. Anyway.
No.
On to our next topic now. And I know this has been an issue for you, being, the tech man that you are. So you've had trouble stopping your kids from playing on their phones, you were telling me, even though they're getting a bit older. Still a problem, isn't it now? Optus might have a solution for you. I just want to come up with that. Might be helpful for you.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. You're ever so helpful for me. And you're right, tearing kids away from phones has always been an issue. Not just phones, consoles, anything that basically is electronic and connects. Kids want to keep playing on that the whole time. And you've got some parental controls now that have made that a little bit more manageable. I do remember as a parent when I had younger kids, sometimes I'd take the PlayStation or the Xbox power cord off to work with me. So if the kids were home over the holidays, they'd go and try and play. And of course, there was no power cord, so they couldn't play. So it was a pretty basic sort of solution. But Optus has come up with a concept called Optus Pause. And it is a little bit more sophisticated, I must admit, Tony, than just taking the power cord to work with me. Basically, if you've got all Optus phones in your household, you can cut off the internet to phones or to your router. So basically cut off all internet connections for a period of time, 15 minutes, 30 minutes or 45 minutes. And it's all controlled within the My Optus app. And essentially you can say, right, kids, get the washing up done, you can keep playing, or you haven't been behaving yourself, I'm going to cut your access off. So wherever you are, you can go onto your app, you can turn off that access, and it doesn't matter whether they're in Wi-Fi range or using their SIM card. It basically cuts off access on their device, whether it be a phone, whether it be devices connecting to your Wi-Fi in your house. So absolutely brilliant idea. It's a good challenge for the kids as well. If they think they're a bit tech savvy, they might try and get around it to see if there's some way to get around it. But the idea is you just pause them for that period of time, and then you don't have to do anything to unpause them. You just let the 15 minutes or the 30 or 45 minutes expire, and then they can connect again. So I think it's a great idea. A bit of a sign that we've lost control of our kids, Tony, but I'm guilty as charged of that. But I think this is just a technology solution for this particular issue.
Mm. Yes. Well, Matthew, I don't know about you, but my great wife, she's very tidy and loves things to be in order. And if I just bowl in, I'm the most untidy person. If I bowl in at home and I put my keys, just innately, just put it on the bench,
Yeah.
and 5 minutes later I walk out, and I just innately go to pick them up, and I put my hand out. Oh, there's nothing there. Oh, did I put my keys there or didn't I? Now I've got to be careful here, because if I start saying, "What did you do with my keys?" and my wife hasn't tidied them away, I'm in big trouble. So, but I do have this problem of I've got to be very careful where I put my keys, because my dear wife, she won't leave them where I've left them for terribly long. So now there's some technology though that can help me here, so I don't have to badger her and pretend that I haven't lost my keys.
Exactly. And Apple has come up with a new feature they're releasing now. And it's something that we're vaguely familiar with in two different formats, but Apple have combined them into one. People that have used Apple devices are fairly familiar with the Find My program. So you can basically locate your iPad or a missing phone or even a laptop. You can look on a map to see where it is in a fairly narrow area, maybe within 30 or 40 metres, but you can also play a sound on it. And if it's lost, you can actually wipe your phone remotely, for example. So a great feature. But at this stage, it's only available, or has been only available, for phones and iPads and Macs. But they've just announced that they're licensing third-party products that will be able to join the Find My program. So basically, you'll be able to have other devices. Now, the first couple of ones out there, one is a set of headphones, but the other one is a key tag. So you can put the key tag on, for example, your keys, and then when you come in, sit them on the bench, and you go to walk out, rather than embarrass yourself with saying to your wife, "Why have you moved my keys?" and in fact you just put them somewhere different, you can search them for them on your phone, or you can play a sound on them and you can find those. Now, you may be familiar with the Tile. There's a device called a Tile that's been around for many years. I remember buying all my kids and wife Christmas presents several years ago of a bunch of tiles to put in their teddy bears and on their keys and all sorts of things. The big advantage that Apple has, though, is that if you lose your keys and you're not nearby, because this uses Bluetooth technology, you can use the entire network of Apple phones to try and find your keys. The same thing happens with Tile apps, but you're relying on other people to have the Tile app installed on your phone. And obviously the market penetration of the Tile app is nowhere near as good as the market penetration of Apple phones. So it will use any Apple phone nearby. It'll look for it. Apple tell us the privacy is there, the encryption is there. Other people can't see your car keys. Apple can't see your car keys. You can see them by using other phones, other Apple phones on the network that are nearby your device. So great feature. Been available for a while, as I said, on a Tile. Going to Apple devices, I think a lot more people will take up this feature.
Yeah, this device could even save marriages.
It could save marriages. Or destroy marriages. If you've left your keys at your girlfriend's place, then maybe your wife will see where the keys are. Could go either way, Tony.
Hadn't thought about that, but I don't have that problem, Matthew.
Good work.
How come you brought that issue up?
A friend of mine told me about it.
Oh, okay. All right. You've been listening to Tech Talk on Binjang 91.5. Stick around this afternoon for another session with Matthew Dickerson,